now for Okeechobee, St. Lucie, Indian River County, and a portion of Martin County. This doesn't extend until 8:15 a.m. So we are tracking a strong thunderstorm that has the potential of even producing an isolated tornado threat. Now we are tracking very strong winds right along the coast of Lake Okeechobee on the northern portion, and a marine warning is in effect for this individual storm. And we've seen some signs of tightening in that area of broad rotation at this time. But the main threat I want to point out is very strong wind gusts expected with this. We could see damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour possible. So again, that severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now for Okeechobee, St. Lucie, Indian River, and portion of Martin County until 8:15 a.m. It includes the cities of Fort Pierce, Port St. Lucie, Sebastian, downtown Okeechobee, currently experiencing some of the strongest rainfall of the storm and lightning strikes as well. So I want to give a heads up right now. Port St. Lucie, 7:51, the estimated time. This is a very quick moving storm. It's going at about 60 miles per hour right now. That's what the National Weather Service is indicating. So it's a very quick moving storm at this moment, and it will be approaching the Port St. Lucie area at 7:51, so in about 10 minutes from now. Fort Pierce at 7:58, Vero Beach at 8:05, and Indian River Shores at 8:09. Let's get a zoomed in look currently at downtown Okeechobee. I want to point out some of the heaviest rainfall we have been tracking at this time. And it has been right over downtown Okeechobee, over Okeechobee Road, US 98, 441. And even along the coastline, we have been tracking some very heavy rainfall. I'm going to pull up right now a hail track on this to see if there's any sort of indication of hail. And we have had some radar estimated hail at this time, potentially pea size, heading towards the downtown Okeechobee area. So heads up, and US 441 right along the coast there. We are looking at the threat for wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour, potential for hail the size of pea, and even the potential for an isolated brief spin up. Let's point out the area of rotation as well. This has been for Glades County. I believe the National Weather Service is going to allow that to expire because it's now heading over water. But we've been tracking some very strong wind gusts associated with this. Let's get a velocity scan on that. So about a 40-mile-per-hour winds are estimated within this strong, severe storm. And again, it's currently over downtown Okeechobee. Very strong lightning activity associated with it, eventually heading towards Port St. Lucie at 7:51 a.m., 7:58 a.m., and for Fort Pierce, 8:05 a.m. for Vero Beach, and 8:09. If you are within that severe thunderstorm warning in Indian River, St. Lucie, Martin, and even Okeechobee County, you want to stay inside in your shelter, away from doors and windows until you are finally in the clear. If you are under a tornado warning at this time, you need to head to an interior room of your home, away from doors and windows, and stay there until the warning expires. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued for a portion of inland Palm Beach County. That includes the Clewiston area. So if we get the latest from the National Weather Service at this time at 8:05 a.m., severe thunderstorms were located along lines extending from Montura to 7 miles east of Ave Maria, moving to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. You can see that new severe thunderstorm warning. It includes the entire eastern portion of Hendry County and a portion of inland Palm Beach County until 8:30 this morning. We could see wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour, the potential for pea-sized hail. The severe thunderstorm that we're tracking in central Hendry County, it's moving to the east currently. At 8:19 a.m., Lake Harbor could see this severe thunderstorm. It produced winds in excess of 60 miles per hour and the potential for pea-sized hail. This is the one I want to point out right here, 8:28 this morning. Belle Glade, downtown Belle Glade, we'll see the threat for very heavy rainfall. Terrytown, 8:35 a.m. and 20 Mile Bend at 8:45 a.m. Let's go back to that severe thunderstorm warning in the Treasure Coast and the tornado warning as well. Good morning to anyone who is just joining us on the air right now. We have been tracking the threat for severe weather this morning with the potential for isolated severe storms producing strong damaging wind gusts and even potential for an isolated tornado or two. And we actually have a tornado warning in effect for the storm that has been moving across northern Lake Okeechobee. And it has shown some signs of rotation. So we're continuing to watch that as it moves onshore. And we could see that continued rotation as it heads to the northeast. This individual storm right here moving to the northeast at 35 miles per hour. So that rotation starting to move, potential rotation is fairly broad at this time. If we do get a velocity scan on this, it's starting to move to the east right now of a portion of 441 right near Lake Okeechobee. So we're likely starting to see some of the strongest wind potential to the east side of the coast of Lake Okeechobee. So it's starting to move a bit further inland. So if there is any possible tornado or any rotation associated with it, maybe there's a funnel cloud in the sky, that would likely be over the Beeline Highway moving to the east at this moment. So we still have very strong winds along 441, but I'm not too concerned about an isolated tornado threat for you anymore. But we still continue to see it moving to the east. So we need to have Port St. Lucie be prepared for this, particularly for the eastern portion of Port St. Lucie that is included under the tornado warning. It's fairly difficult to see the line indicated in red. We have the velocity scan in red as well. So Port St. Lucie at 8:41 a.m. we want you prepared for a very strong storm that is moving towards your area. We have had some indication of very strong wind gusts associated with it. And within a severe thunderstorm, we know could see winds in excess of 60 miles per hour and the potential for small hail. Stewart, 8:52 a.m. we could see very strong wind gust, and then Waveland at 8:59 a.m. if this continues to head to the east at a speed of about 35 miles per hour. We have a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for the portion of Indian River County, St. Lucie County, Okeechobee County, and even Martin County until. Okay, so we've extended the portion of the tornado warning. It looks like we could have an additional area of rotation within this. Let's get the latest on this new tornado warning that has been issued for a portion of St. Lucie County. This does include Florida Ridge, Fort Pierce, Lakewood Park, and Vero Beach. It appears this is a new area that we're tracking for the potential of rotation and an isolated tornado threat. At 8:08 a.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Lakewood Park, near Indro, moving to the northeast at 65 miles per hour. There we go. Some signs of potential rotation within that. Let's move this to the south a bit. So to the east of I-95, let's zoom out. Okay. So some signs of rotation within this storm in Lakewood Park. We could see this is a storm moving to the northeast at 65 miles per hour. Very fast moving storms this morning as it moves towards the coast. So heads up if you live in Fort Pierce, Lakewood Park, or if you live along Orange Avenue, if you have a Fort Pierce address, you need to head into an interior room of your home away from doors and windows and stay there until this warning expires. It's heading to the coast. It includes Indian River and St. Lucie County. Vero Beach, you are under this threat. Some of the rotation activity has been to the south. However, we still have very strong wind potential associated with this tornado warning as it continues to move to the east. So the latest from the National Weather Service, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over St. Lucie West or near Port St. Lucie, moving to the east at 25 miles per hour. We have been tracking notes from the National Weather Service. A strong secondary circulation was noticed on the north central Martin County and St. Lucie County border. So additional circulations that continue to develop are possible along this cluster of storms.
So Jennifer, I'm going to put an arrow on this, and I want you to go ahead and you can show people the northern one.
We're tracking
this is the track right
some
here.
rotation activity to the west right now of the Florida Turnpike. You can see the bright colors of velocity scan that indicates different wind directions. So the green indicates winds that are going towards a radar. The red indicates winds that are heading away from a radar. The closer, though, that color gets to each other, the signal of rotation is stronger. So we might see a funnel cloud we might expect a funnel cloud that is being produced at this time along areas to the west right now, right over I-95 actually, and to the west of the Florida. I mean, it's very close to the coast, so Fort Pierce, Indian River Estates. You are under a tornado warning at this time. If you are under the tornado warning and you're hearing coverage right now here on CBS 12, head to an interior room of your home. Stay away from those doors and windows. We saw damage yesterday in the North Palm Beach area that actually tossed tree limbs into people's homes. So that's
Right.
why we tell you to stay away from any sort of doors or windows. We've even seen garage doors that were kind of torn apart in that tornado activity yesterday. So even your garage is not safe. It's
Yeah,
an
and it
interior
takes
room,
minutes.
an interior closet that you might have, a bathroom that doesn't have windows. Stay inside if you can. If you live on US 1 in the Stewart area, if you live on US 1 in Fort Pierce, if you live near I-95 or the Florida Turnpike, pretty much for entire coastal St. Lucie County, you need to head to your safe place and into your room away from doors and windows as we're tracking a strong line of storms that have the potential of producing rotation and possibly a tornado. Nothing has been observed at this time, as Stephanie can check chat and see if there's been any sort of chit chat on there.
Yeah, nothing at this time that they are saying in the chat.
Okay.
I mean, just what you guys have been saying. Of course, I'll let you know if I see anything.
All right, so frequent lightning, very heavy rainfall rates. This is not the time to be out on the roads. If you're planning to be driving, if you're planning on driving north along the Florida Turnpike right now, or even I-95, maybe heading towards Orlando or the Space Coast, it's not the time to be out on the road, especially in the Treasure Coast currently, as we're tracking these strong thunderstorms currently with the potential of producing an isolated tornado threat. Let's get the latest on that velocity scan currently and to see where some of the strongest wind activity is associated with the potential rotation with these severe thunderstorms. And within a severe thunderstorm, of course, not only do we have a tornado threat, if you are in this tornado warning, maybe that tornado warning isn't directly in, rotation isn't directly impacting you. We could still see very strong winds, damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, and even pea-sized hail. Let's not move this scan right here. I want to point out strong signal of potential rotation to the west right now of the Florida Turnpike, Port St. Lucie. This does include Port St. Lucie Boulevard, Southwest Becker Road, Southwest Citrus Road. Let's zoom in a little bit more to see if we have any additional roadways right now.
Yeah.
If you live on Savonia Road, Port St. Lucie Boulevard, Tulip Boulevard, if you live in this neighborhood, if you have a Port St. Lucie address, you want to head to an interior room of your home and stay there until this warning expires. You can bring your phone if you're streaming us with you, or you can turn up your television until we tell you that that the threat is over. So strong signal of potential rotation within this. Likely could be watching a funnel cloud being produced, and if this continues to head to the coast, we'll have some influence with that onshore wind flow. So additional rotation is still possible. Let's Port St. Lucie, 8:29 a.m. So at this time, you're likely experiencing very strong winds, maybe even a funnel cloud, maybe winds in excess of 50 miles per hour. Could see wind gusts in excess of 65 miles per hour within this storm if we get very tight rotation. Indian River Estates heading towards your area, 8:33 this morning. Walton at 8:36 and Eldred at about 8:35. If you live in the Port St. Lucie area or along Hutchinson Island, if you live along US 1, A1A, you want to head into your safe place at this time until this warning expires at about 9 o'clock. We're tracking signals of rotation within some of these isolated storms within a line of severe storms across the state. Again, we're still tracking very strong winds currently along US 1, Southeast Morningside Boulevard, Port St. Lucie. If you live in River Park, if you have a River Park address, if you have a Port St. Lucie zip code, you want to be in your safe place at this time as the storm is heading to the east towards the coast at about 25 miles per hour. So we're starting to see the storm activity move towards the coast along the Treasure Coast. It's not just this area that is under the threat for severe weather today. It includes pretty much the entire viewing area. We are all under tornado watch. These storms currently are over the Treasure Coast. However, we expect that to shift to the south. Rainfall currently over Indian River State. You are in the clear from the severe weather. You can come out of your safe zone right now. The heaviest rainfall is currently off your coast. Same thing with River Park. You can come out of your safe place now. And for the western area of Port St. Lucie, that threat is now over. If you live in eastern Port St. Lucie or towards the Walton area, Jensen Beach, still stay in your safe place until most of this storm activity moves offshore, and then the threat will be over. We've been tracking a very strong line of storms that has been rolling through our area with potential for a few isolated severe cells. And any time a storm becomes severe, that means it has the potential of producing damaging wind gusts. That's wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour, throwing loose items from your yard all around. So that severe threat continues for our area. However, this line of storms is starting to show some signs of weakening and breaking up. But as it breaks up, we can still see some areas of rotation, so that tornado threat and even strong wind potential still remains for even Palm Beach County.
Yeah,
through
because
2
that
o'clock.
line, as you see,